Some players get excited thinking about a new Sims game. They say things like, "It's been too long,"
"I'm sick of Sims 4,"
and
They need to start over.
Other players physically cringe at the idea of Sims 5 being released in the near future. I'm definitely a part of that latter group. I hate the idea of starting fresh. I hate the idea of all the money and time I've spent in The Sims 4 being for nothing, particularly the money aspect. Yet, at the same time, I can understand and feel some of the excitement for the next Sims game. And it is true that they need to start over and rebuild the game completely. That's why I've compiled 10 things Sims 5 absolutely needs to deliver for the base game at launch. The game needs to launch as a fully fledged game. It can't be missing fundamental aspects like pools, toddlers, ghosts, or hot tubs. Everything we have in the base game of Sims 4, I fully expect in the base game of Sims 5 at launch. That means better skin tones, dating and woohoo preferences, pronoun options, sentiments, lifestyles, which isn't base game but I still think it should be, terrain tools, pawn tools, better staircase options, all of the current aspirations and traits with brand new ones, all of that jazz. I don't see why the game can't build on what's already existing. It doesn't make sense to go back to square one with everything. Sims 5 should expand on concepts already introduced. Yes, to a degree, it's a fresh slate because hopefully they're using a system that can actually handle the game. However, at the same time, it shouldn't mean the players have to suffer with a horrible base game at launch with missing features. That's not going to compel me to buy it. Seasons should be base game. I truly believe this, I do, and I'm sick of pretending that a Seasons expansion pack is great. I shouldn't have to pay around $60 Canadian for a basic element to life. If Seasons were base game, I'd be expecting everything that we would have gotten from an expansion. I'm talking weather, calendar, holidays, custom holidays, all of the major features from, at least, the Sims 4 version of the pack. Moreover, I would like to be able to set seasonal weather per world. I do like how the worlds in Sims 4 have their own climate, and I think that should still be incorporated in Sims 5. I just think that players should have the ability to adjust those settings for each world. In addition, I believe that there should be base game reputation, fame, and character values. Essentially base game get famous and parenthood. I wanted to add base game university, active careers, and active schooling, but I feel like that might be asking too much. Even so, I do think it's appropriate to have base game fame and reputation as well as base game character values. Those three aspects are pretty simple and realistic. It doesn't make sense to exclude rudimentary elements that mimic how complex life is within a society or family unit. Open world or open neighborhoods. The loading screen from every single lot to the next one is bothersome. It removes me from the gameplay, especially when it's within the same neighborhood. Talking about neighborhoods and worlds and stuff like that, I miss the Create a World tool. I liked being able to design my own world and create as many lots as I wanted. The ability to choose to include numerous large lots is something that is missing from Sims 4. It's limiting to not be able to select how many lots or their sizes. The largest lots in the game, which is 64 by 64, feels too small at times, and they're rarely included. It's such a shame that they decided to go with the set neighborhoods this time around. This exclusion makes the game less creative and interactive. I want more NPCs at launch. I want an Uber Eats driver type person, a pizza delivery driver, additional delivery drivers for fast food, a grocery delivery driver, firefighters, a repo person, an exterminator, police officers, doctors, nurses, grocery store clerks, ambulance driver, social worker, pet adoption people, headmaster, teachers, mail people, optional newspaper carriers, criminals or burglars, and traders. You get the picture. I want a lot of them. There should be numerous roles that NPCs fill. This would create a bustling and lively world. Something that sort of goes hand in hand with the NPCs would be a better time system and tools. I find that time goes by too fast in Sims 4, and sometimes too slow. At the same time, tasks take way too long to complete. There should be a way for players to adjust how fast time goes in-game, or the developers should at least ensure that multiple tasks can be completed in a day. Enough tasks to make the player feel like they've accomplished something and they've gotten their goals done without being bogged down with mundane things like eating or sleeping. On top of this, I think that there should be a scheduling tool. This would assist the player in completing certain tasks each day, week, month, or season. I know I've talked about this before, but I really do think that this should be a thing. It could also introduce new gameplay elements and emotions. Perhaps you couldn't complete their morning schedule due to a fire. Then maybe your sim is thrown off a wee bit and feels upset by this disturbance in their schedule. The ticking of time means we're all aging. And that's another element that needs to be improved in Sims 5. Life stages have been okay. It can be jarring to have your sim age up and all of a sudden that little kid is an adult-sized teenager. Or maybe their sibling has aged up and now they're the same size, have the same abilities, go to the same school, and are essentially the same age. It makes it hard to determine who the oldest child in the family is if they all look the exact same way. This is why they should have gradual aging and more life stages in Sims 5. The Sims should go through newborn, baby, young toddler, toddler, older toddler, young child, child, preteen, young teen, teen, older teen, young adult, adult, middle-aged, older adult, elder, and senior. This would allow for more life experiences and would make the aging process seamless. Oh, and babies shouldn't be objects. Have you ever done something that has had lasting consequences on your life? It's sometimes crazy how little actions or decisions can cause long-term effects and consequences. Maybe this concept is a bit too large to explore in a life simulation game to its full potential. Even so, I do think it should be explored a wee bit. There should be lasting consequences that can affect our Sims. Maybe that comes from disrespecting your parents or choosing to sneak out of the house or going to a particular university instead of the one you actually wanted to go to. Choices have consequences and I want to see it in The Sims 5, even if it's simply a mechanic with relationships. Maybe it could be similar to how Sims in Sims 2 would get furious with others and then it would slowly go away over time. This want is a simple one, for I'm a simple gal. I would be very pleased if they included small yet detailed interactions. Things that used to happen in the older games. Cuddling in bed, using the cupboard while cooking, detailed actions while cooking, proper chess games, and so much more. Removing and replacing those detailed interactions makes the game feel cheap and like it was rushed in development. The cartoony interactions that replace some of those detailed yet basic interactions also cheapen the game. It's not quirky that the Sims cook like maniacs. They just seem stupid. Well, those are 10 things I want for the Sims 5 base game. What's something you want for it? Let me tell you one thing. Sims 5 base game at launch better be worth it, or else I don't see myself spending any money on it. And with that, I must bid you adieu. Stay happy, healthy, and hydrated. Bye!